Hi guys, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's well. It is very, very, very hot in New York. Extremely hot. These are the days that I wish it was fall already. And I love the summer. But this is a little too hot for my liking. So if you are new, welcome. Hi Carly. My name is Rita Panula. I am the design director for ImpressArt, and I'm coming to you from my home studio today. I know we had the experience last Wednesday that I got to take you guys into, actually Thursday, that I got to take you guys into ImpressArt headquarters. So that was fun. We have a lot of fun and exciting things happening in space. So we've decided to give you celestial soup to nuts, everything that's in that line. Today we're gonna start with the Ultra Detail Constellations. Not like Constellation sticker guidebook. These are Ultra Detail that are already made. So if you are a maker and really wanna get these done really quick, it's just basically a hit and you're finished. So I'm gonna show you all of those designs today. Roseanne, your order is coming today. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. You guys should do unboxing videos. I love watching those. I can't get enough. I just watch them and watch them, different products. Hi, Sandy. Stargazing is it's a family hobby. So we were all out last night. I didn't know what I was looking at because you couldn't really see anything from where I am. We have an area called Bald Hill, is where we should have gone last night, but I have to say my guilty pleasure is Riverdale, and that kind of took precedence over stargazing last night. But hi, Joanne. Carly, you're all signed up? Perfect. All right, guys, so remember that you could register for that Michael's class on Thursday. Hi, Christine. Hi, pretty lady. Hi, Brenda. I did not see the comment. I didn't see the comment. I didn't. You know, my 11-year-old is like, I saw it, but I'm like wondering if she really did see it. So it was like one of those things. But yeah, half of me was out the door and half of me was like, just want to watch one more episode. So Courtney, unfortunately I can't do a live stamping on stainless steel rings because we don't sell stainless steel. Hi, Dale. Just unboxed your order, Susan. I want to see what you're going to make with those mandala stamps. Now I know I went over those mandala sticker guides with you one-on-one, so I want to see what you make with those. So the entire collection, Jen just posted a link on the bottom to view the entire Celestial collection. So take a look at that. There are plenty of tutorials on the inspiration page that you can take a look at and go through. And without further ado, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna bring you over to my bench. And we're gonna play a little with these Ultra Detail stamps. And I'm gonna incorporate some bezels. We'll bring in some Stargazer. If we have time, we will go over the sticker guides a little bit. Media shower, that's coming up in August. Stephanie, that sounds exciting. Really exciting. More exciting than my Riverdale episode. So, all right, I'm going to turn the camera around and bring you guys over to my block. All right. Put you in there. Oh, hi Cynthia. Connie, are you going to be bracelet tutorial? We're gonna bend a bracelet today, but we're gonna bend a medallion bracelet. But if you sign up for that class, that Michael's class, let me take this off. There we go. If you sign up for that Michael's class, I'm gonna walk you through everything you need to know about bending a bracelet, maybe over bending. I'm gonna show you some samples today because I know that I got a lot of feedback that we liked the samples that I showed you guys for the flash sale. So I have a couple of projects that I will walk you through super quick before we start our project. All right, let's see. So these are maybe one of my favorite applications that we make at ImpressArt, and these are the bezels. How pretty are these guys? Very simple. You use your GS Hypo after you stamped your blank, and you're just gonna pop it right in there. And you could do a mixed metal. Oh, we have a newbie. Well, welcome. Oh God, I can't wait for you to get your order either. You have to let us know when you receive it. Hi, Gail. Oh, thank you, Gail. Yeah, a lot of people saw that. Thank you very much. So for those who are unaware of what Gail is referencing, so I was featured as a Michael's Maker on their spotlight page. So that was really nice. So these are the bigger of the bezels. And guys, these are so nice because you could even, just because, you know, they're already stamped, you could definitely sink a crystal into these. Jalen, am I pronouncing your name right? I feel bad that I am butchering names. I apologize. So Luana, right? And Jalen, welcome, ladies. So you'll be very happy that we are a very open and kind stamping community, and we welcome you. Hi, Karen. Welcome to you too. Okay, Jalen, perfect. So we have new Karen, Jalen, and perfect. Okay. All right, so there are these. And then, guys, you could always come in. I like to mix everything up. I'm a mixer. I'm a mixer of metals, I guess. I love how different shades look together. You can use it in the center. So guys, this is upper and lowercase. Let me move that over. Upper and lowercase Stargazer. So remember, Stargazer is our signature font. It's rated for stainless steel. All right. And we're just gonna, you just dab that. But you know, I took these bugle beads out of my mother's old sewing box. I know I've spoke about before. My mother is a seamstress. Well, she for old Cassini when she was in Italy, but she came to this country and she started doing beading work on wedding gowns, and that's how I actually picked up and made my first beaded bracelet. So anytime I go through her stuff and I find some of her beads, I snag them. So bugle beads are a really quick and easy way that you guys could make a necklace. And then, let's see what else we have. We have the rounds, the 1-inch rounds. So those are always fun. Unfortunately, we don't have beads. We don't have beads. All right. So today what we're going to do is, let me clear this block. I'm going to walk you through these ultra detail. These ultra detail constellations. I'm going to stamp them out to show you. Thanks, Deborah. Really, really easy. That's ball chain. Ball chain is very easy to use and incorporate in designs. So the first one we have here is Pegasus. All right. And really simple, guys. Just put these down. You're going to do the tilt and tap that I've taught you. Let me pull this back a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, there we go. So again, this is Pegasus. You're going to hit it once dead on. Bring it back, front, side, side. And I'm just tilting and tapping. You don't want to over stamp these because look how pretty they come out. Guys, and what's really nice about these is that you don't even have to color them in if you don't want to. Now, I know we had a lot of questions about mixing the black and the silver. Enamel markers, so I will show you what that looks like. And I think I'm going to do that on a brass because it'll show up better. I have a lot of glare in the studio today. So that is Pegasus. I'm just going to fill that in. I finally had to open up a new marker. So you guys got a new black marker from me today. So these, Carly, are the Ultra Detail. These are different constellations. There we go. So that's Pegasus. Then we have Orion. Color that in. I think I had my last enamel marker for close to 2 years, and I was very sad when I had to let that one go. Now guys, when you have little detail and little dots like that, do you see that? It's really important that you use that tip of your marker to get in there. See how I'm doing that? And just color that in. Because sometimes it forms an air bubble and your enamel doesn't really get in there. So you definitely utilize the tip of that marker. Hi, Janet. Luann, I have had pieces on for up to 2. Actually, I keep on coloring. I color my stuff in, but I believe I've been wearing this bracelet for, I want to say 2 years. Okay. So that's Orion. Then we have Lyra. Hi, Pam G. Nope, no worries, Janet. We just started. So this is Lyra. I'll color that in really quick, and then we will make a fun project using the bezels. And we'll sink a crystal. And then we have Phoenix. So Phoenix is my favorite out of all of them. I like the meaning behind a phoenix. You know, and guys, you could definitely, if you do your research, there are definitely meanings to all of these constellations that we did. So that's Phoenix, Aquila. Hi, Abby. Yep, Terry, rising from the ashes. And these are really great. You know, we talked about it's summertime. We talked about markets. These sell really, really well, even in farmers markets, or October is coming and the country's opening back up again, slowly, but we're getting there. And doing fall festivals. This is something great, guys, to invest in, because this is a stamp and go. You know, this is something that you could definitely take with you and stamp on the spot. And, you know, I've learned from years of doing this that, you know, customers really like when they watch you make it. You know, it gives them a little bit something more. Oh, you're welcome, Hillary. So there's that one. So you see how all these really pretty little tiny details could go into these. Orion especially is a look that you can't really get with the sticker. Okay, so you know, we've chosen these really complicated or really pretty lyrical ones to have made in the ultra detail. All right, so we have all of these. Now we're going to do some projects. So guys, I know I've mentioned before, like if you have a design stamp with a flower, if it has a center, you could, you know, put a crystal in it. All right, you could also do that with these. So I think I'm going to, of course, work with Phoenix, with the Phoenix. I'm going to pull the Phoenix out, and I'm going to show you how pretty are these. So guys, you can mix and match. The bezels come in Alchemy, they come in aluminum, they come in brass and copper. Okay, and right here I have the brass and the Alchemy. All right, now you'll notice that the Alchemy is a little bit thicker. I happen to gravitate towards the Alchemy because of that thickness. And I'm going to use an Alchemy insert. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you something a little different. I know we did a bracelet a few weeks ago. All right, with the GS Hypo. So I'm going to just pull this out. Okay, I'm going to center it to the best of my ability. So Alchemy is a tin-based alloy. It's very similar to pewter, Luana. If you are just starting, I recommend you practicing on aluminum first. So here we have my impression. And then I'm just going to see where I want my crystal, where I'm going to set my crystal. And I think that right in the center is where I want to. Let's see if I could get that in. There we go. That center dot right there is where I'm going to sink my crystal. So I'm going to use my 1.8 crystal setter. Let's see. And the crystals are coming, guys. Crystals are coming. So just sit tight. So I'm just going to go. Let me flip this down a little bit. And I'm just going to cover with my crystal setter. I'm going to cover my existing impression there, okay? And I'm going to come in. And I'm going to lightly tilt it and tap it all the way around. Hillary, it is definitely better than watching Netflix all day. Do you see how we have that really nice and even impression? Guys, I tilt and tap with that crystal setter because I want a really nice flat and even base. The last thing I want is for my crystal, my divot, to be on an angle, and then half of my crystal is sticking out of my metal and half of it's in. What happens with that is, you know, anything could get caught on it and it takes the crystal right out. So it's really important that when you're making these divots, I hope you guys could see that. Let's see if I could. That you have a deep enough impression. Okay? So I'm going to take that. Just like that. And then I am going to take my enamel marker. Now we talked about, someone had asked, a few of you asked how I get that gunite gray look inside of the metal. More of a liver of sulfur instead of that stark black. Okay? I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to do my black first, and I'm going to cover my impressions. So Lisa, when you go on the website and you bring up the bezels, okay, it should have the insert right underneath that listing. I'm going to come back in and just fill that up a little bit more. And remember, I keep on telling you guys to use the pointing part in the corner of your marker, and I am not doing that. I'm getting bubbles. So you want to come back. Lightly dab it. So now your impressions are filled with that black enamel. What you're going to do next is, see how stark that is? And some of you might like that starkness of it. Linda, a lot. I could tell you that I've used it for 2 years and I do a lot. I on average stamp about, for work and personally, I stamp about I want to say maybe 200 pieces. All right, and then I'm going to, see how it's mixing? Do you see how that silver, my silver marker and my black is just blending together? Okay. It looks more of a it gives a liver of sulfur look, which is a type of patina, okay? But it's non-toxic this way. It's healthier for you, healthier for everybody in your house, and it doesn't smell like rotten eggs. So you could see here, it's more of that pewter gray, graphite gray, as opposed to that stark black. All right. And then what I'm going to do is, I think I am going to, I know we talked about putting the bezels in flat, but we're going to dap this one. Right, and I'm going to show you. So when you're dapping your pendants, you definitely want to put your crystal divot in there first. Okay, just like we did. Okay, oops. And I want to place this down because I want it to go inside of my bezel. And I'm just going to come in, let me pull this up a little bit so you could see. I'm just going to come in the center with my punch, and I'm going to hit it a few times and give it a nice curved look. Nice dome. Do you see that, guys? It's very slight. I'm gonna put it back in, hit it a few more times. Bring it back out a little bit more. Do you see that? And I'm gonna bring it back to my block. Let's see, I think I am shaking with the tripod today. Let me try to fix that really quick for you guys. All right, okay. So we've dapped it. And then I'm going to come in and I'm deciding if I want to do, you know what, let's do a mixed metal one. I'm going to go with, actually, we did mixed metals. So I'm working with the Alchemy. So this is what the mixed metals looks like, guys. And I'll show you how I put that on there shortly. I'm going to leave it like that. But what I'm going to do is to give it a little bit more, I'm going to take my multifunction hammer with my ball peen head, and I'm going to just gently go around my bezel. Let me bring this down a little bit so it's above the comments. There we go. Just to give it a little bit of texture. And I love using the Alchemy in these because it holds the ball peen so nicely. Lisa, I don't know if, I think you're looking at the old bezels. I would just scroll up in the comments, Lisa, and find the bezel listing that Jen and Allie posted. So how nice does that look? It just gives it a little bit something extra. And then I'm going to come in with my blank. Now with my GS Hypo, guys, all right, this is what I use to fix metal to metal. And what I use for my crystals. Okay, I'm just gonna pull that off. And what you wanna do, guys, is you never want to squeeze your tube. Okay, because you see how it balls out already? If you squeeze, you're gonna have, it's like a volcano. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take that ball of glue with my applicator. Okay, do we see that? And I'm going to put it right inside of my divot using my applicator. Just going to clean that off. Guys, remember to clean it off, because if you don't clean it off, you'll have a mess when you go back to use your glue again. And we're going to use our glue again in a few seconds. And then I'm going to take some crystals. Yeah, Lisa, the ones that are on clearance are a little tricky. Those don't really have an insert. Those were old sizes. So I'm just going to take my crystal and insert it right in my divot, just like that. And then I'm going to put it to the side, and I'm going to come back in with my glue again. I'm just going to clean it off. You're welcome. And I'm just going to very lightly go around the inside perimeter of that blank. Because remember, we domed it, so we're not going to need any glue in the center, but we're definitely going to need glue on the outskirts. And don't go crazy with your glue. If you go crazy with your glue and it's all over, let it dry, and then you're going to come back in with a cotton swab or a Q-tip with some alcohol, and that will clean the glue, the excess glue up. And then you're just going to pop that right in. Let me just move this. How nice is that, guys? It gives it texture, it gives it depth. Just like that. How nice is that? Okay. To dap these, it's so easy. It brings your design. So this is not dapped. Let me pull this back a little bit. So this is not dapped opposed to it being dapped. How pretty. It just gives that a little something. Gives it a little something. Something extra. Can the crystal rivets be used with leather? Would you use the same tool you're using to make the holes in leather? Rosalinda, I've never tried to use my screw hole punch on leather. You might want to try it out on a scrap piece first. Definitely let me know how you make out with that, because I've never tried that. GF typo work with gluing metal to wood. I suggest using more of an epoxy, like an E6000 for wood, if you're going to put metal to wood. All right. So that's always really nice. Now I'm going to bring out Stargazer. All right, and I'll show you. I know Stargazer was a question, and bending a bracelet. So we'll go through bending one of these bracelets. Pull out Stargazer. Do Stargazer uppercase. Yes, Roseanne, I cut the loop off of it. I'm going to show you how to do it in a few seconds. So here we go. We're backwards. We're backwards. Okay, so this is Stargazer, guys. This is the 2mm font that is rated for stainless. Okay, they're nice and clean. They're crisp. They're sharp. And you're not going to give these a very aggressive hit with your hammer. All right, and I'll show you. What I'm going to use on my circle that goes inside my bezel, I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to use my round sticker guide book, your stamp guide book. Let me grab a sticker out of that. I'm going to use the small one. Okay, that's a small sticker guide. And I want to go around the bottom, actually the side of it. So I'm not going to really put it in the center. I'm going to really go a little off more. Okay, I'm going to want to do an inscription right here. All right. So I have that. Now, when I'm lining up my letters, I want to make sure that I'm using the spaces in between the orange and black. Stargazer is small. It's a 2mm font. All right. With the leather and the metal, I suggest using the GS Hypo. Wood is a different story. Okay. So I'm going to utilize the spaces in between these hash marks that I have on here. And I'm going to come in. Let's see, do I have a pen? Where'd my pen go? I cleaned. That's what happened. Every time I clean, I lose everything. So I'm going to come in. And instead of bringing down, I'm going to drag it up. Okay, so I'm coming and I'm placing it down and I'm dragging it up, as opposed to the straight stamps where I'm dragging down. Okay, very light. Do you see how I just tapped that? No, it doesn't become impossible to see. I'll show you. This is the sample. So with the Heartbreaker, you also want to make sure that when you're stamping it, you're not over stamping it. But these are really easy to read, especially the uppercase. Okay? If you see my descent, now watch my rising. This is the Phoenix Constellation. So I'm dragging up, flat, very lightly. So did you see that? Is right there. It's very easy to read. It's a smaller font, but it's very clean. Do you see that? And I'm going to come in with my Lyra. Just like that. And guys, it's really simple. You see how simple that was to do that. This is definitely something that you can accomplish at a craft fair. All right, definitely something that you could accomplish. Okay, and then I'm going to pick one. I think I might go a little bit deeper. Let's see, I think I'm gonna go with the 2.5 crystal setter, as opposed to, let's see, I know it was here, I just saw it. I took a lot of supplies to the lake with me, and I probably didn't bring that one back, so we're gonna use the 1.5. So I'm gonna go with my smallest dot. Do I have it? I could have swore I had it. Nope, this is 1 point. I had it. All right. So I'm going to come in with my smallest. I'm just going to pull you up a little bit because I want to show you how I am. Oh, I found it. I knew it was here. So this is the 1.8. This is what I used on the dapped piece. You can see the difference. 1.8. 2.5. So I'm going to come in with my 2.5 since I did the 1.8. I am going to cover the impression. Now, if you see, I'm going to hit it dead on once. Then in a circular motion, I'm just going to make a circle with it, moving it around and around and lightly tapping it. Okay? And what that does, guys, is that leaves a really nice and even impression and deep. When you go with the bigger heads, when you start working with the 2.5 and the 4 millimeter, you're going to need to put a little bit of pressure on that stamp. And sometimes you get a little bit of cupping. Do we see that? That's easily fixable. What you're going to do is you're going to take your nylon head, or you could take a chasing head, all right? You're going to turn your blank over and give it a couple of little taps, okay? And it's going to flatten that right out. Okay? Guys, keep in mind, when you're using small fonts, let's say Heartbreaker, the same thing with the lowercase of the Stargazer. You don't want to be extremely aggressive with your hammer, because what happens with those smaller fonts is if you're aggressive with it, you're stamping it more into the metal, and the metal is spreading. So instead of a nice, clean, crisp A, you're going to get a thick, chubby A. Okay? And I will show you what I mean by that, because maybe, you know what? I'll show you with a moon design stamp, because it's just as delicate. And let me move this down so you guys could see. So because they're signature, they're sharp. So you don't need to overly aggressively hit that. All right? So I'm just tapping. Do we see how nice, clean, and crisp that is? Okay. Now if I hit it a little bit heavier with my hammer, I'm a little chubbier. Okay, I'm fatter, I'm spreading out, I'm forging that metal. So, you know, and some people refer to it as overstamping. Some people, you know, that's personal preference. Some people might like a more spread out, thicker font. Okay? It's really personal preference, but I'll show you the difference on hitting. Okay? Using your hammer. So you could see that here I have really nice, thin, clean line. And here it's clean as well, but it just was forged into metal more, so it's more on the thicker side. All right, so again, it's personal preference. I personally like clean and crisp. My daughter likes a thicker line. Okay, hi Kimberly. I hope that helped a little, Francesca. But guys, the way you learn how to, you know, how to find that happy medium is learning your tools. Learn your tools. Take a font set and just keep on practicing. All right. Okay. So I have my 2.5 in there. And what I did to make my bracelet is I took a pair of nips, flesh cutters, okay, ImpressArt, and I'm just gonna come in right here. And Roseanne, I hope this is what you were referring to. I'm just going to cut it off a little bit. Now, I would rather you have a little bit of metal still present than you actually going right into it and cutting it down, okay? Have a little left on there. Because what happens is when you go all the way down and you cut it, you're actually cutting into the rest of your bezel. So what you're going to do next is you're going to take your coarse side of your sanding block and just run it a couple of times, okay? And that's how easy it is to clean that up. All right? It's also going to make your piece a little bit matte if you've gone a little bit too deep. And how you could fix that is just going right back in with your polishing and just running it over. Do you see that? So Scarlet Signature is the same thing, okay? You don't want to be so heavily aggressive with those. Yes, Linda. Yep, 1.5, same thing. Even sans serif, any kind of small, delicate font, same thing with Melody, the lowercase. You don't want to be so aggressive with it. All right. So then once I've cut that off and I've sanded that, okay, I'm gonna come back in with my enamel. Actually, you know what? Let's use the gold. We're gonna use the gold enamel, all right? And I'm gonna run that over my impressions that I stamped. And I'm gonna run it over my constellation. Now, if you look at that gold marker, guys, there's glitter in that. It really gives like a metal flake look, which I love. Okay. Take my household paper towel, and I'm going to lightly wipe it. Just like that. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to give it one more coat. Gonna dab it, lightly wipe. Okay, then I'm gonna come in with my glue, wait for a ball to form. I'm gonna take it with my applicator. See that ball right there? Let me just switch hands. And I've lost my ball. I'll come back in. I'm just gonna tap it until my glue, there we go, falls right into my divot. I'm gonna pull a little bit more. Just make sure I fill that impression. Come back in. I'm gonna do more of a green peridot, peridot. Put that right inside there. Then I'm going to come back in with my glue, and I'm going to 4 corners and the center. Again, I don't want to overdo it with my glue. I'm just going to place that right inside my bezel. Now look how pretty that looks with that gold and the silver, that mixed metal. So nice. And of course I'm gonna let it dry, because in true fashion, I wanna right away jump. And then I'm going to take my bracelet. Okay, so this is the medallion bracelets. I'm gonna peel back my film, and I'm actually gonna pull you all the way back because I wanna show you how to bend this. Now, you could stamp a design on here, guys. You can ball peen. We textured that just like that, okay? I'm gonna come in with my bracelet bending plier. Let me pull this back a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put my bracelet in the channel. I'm gonna firmly put my thumb up against it, take the palm of my hand, and I'm going to bend that, okay? So it looks just like that. Then I'm gonna come back in, put my thumb firmly against it, take the palm of my hand, bring it over just like that. So my bracelet's gonna look a lot like this, okay? I am, usually if I stamped on this side, I'm going to curve this with my bracelet bending plier, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm sitting my bezel right on top of there and I need a flat surface. But I am gonna come back in with my bracelet bending plier, okay? And I'm gonna follow the curvature of my bracelet and I'm gonna give it a squeeze and then follow it around, okay? And do you see how nicely that curves your bracelet as opposed to just the bar? The bar only gives you, it gives you a nice form, but your ends are sticking out. You definitely want to come back in with your plier and give it a nice squeeze and form it all around. Okay? So look how nice that bends that bracelet. You could definitely stamp a special, message on the inside of that. That would be really nice. Okay, then you're gonna come back in. Hi, Marianne. I didn't see you there, I just saw you pop up. You're going to give a couple of nice beads of glue, okay? Again, make sure that you're gonna clean your tip off and put your applicator back in. Then you're gonna come back in and you're going to obviously wait for your bezel to dry, but I am jumping the gun. And you are going to set your bracelet, your bezel onto your bracelet. And then once it dries, it's going to be just like that, okay? So these are different applications that you could use with these ultra detail stamps, okay? You could also dap it so it gives it a really nice three-dimensional feel. And this looks super nice in the mixed metals as well. Okay? Well, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, thank you. Just gonna lean this down a little bit. So when it dries nicely. But you could see that using different enamel markers just gives your piece a different look, because here we have the black enamel. Let me see if I could zoom in on that. There we go. That's the black enamel. This right here is the gold, okay? And then right here, we have the black enamel first, and then we have, I put the silver enamel inside that and they mix together inside the impressions, and it comes out with a really nice gunite gray, graphite gray. Whoops. And right now it lives on the floor. Well, thank you. My nail color. Quick dry, because that's how we do things here. Yes, so it definitely will hold. Your GS Hypo will hold there. Endless possibilities, endless possibilities, guys. Bring your designs and your stamped products to a whole new level. GS Hypo. Definite good. So I like to wait 14 to 24 hours before I mail any of these babies out, because you want to make sure that if you're selling these, that your glue is dry and your crystals are really in there. A little bit of troubleshooting. Let's say you went a little bit, got excited with the glue and put a little bit too much glue. What you're going to do is you're going to take a Q-tip with some alcohol, with some rubbing alcohol, or even an alcohol pad, and you're going to lightly wipe around those areas. All right. So, and that's it today. So remember that these are the Ultra Detail custom stamps. All right, and they are on the website. They're different from the Constellation pack. This is something that you could do in a few minutes. You can do these if you're going to be stamping live at an event. They look really nice, really quick. The uppercase is Heartbreaker. That's our 2mm font. We mixed a couple of metals today. So I think we pretty much covered it today with these products. I'm gonna flip you guys around. And just give you some reminders. Get you. There we go. Up, and Linda says, don't forget to photograph everything that you create. I like that. It's a great idea. Definitely a great idea. So remember that on Thursday, Jen and I are doing a Michael's class online. So there's still time for you to register. And, still time for you to register. Thank you, Linda. This is the I'm really hot look, because it's very hot in New York. And I usually like to take a walk around the block with my daughter. So I just pulled my hair back today because it's very hot. I have a question. Can you display them like regular bracelets? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You could definitely put them on a bracelet bar if you are displaying your work. What I like to do while these are drying is you can either use a bracelet bar to put them on to dry. Some people use, I've seen rice, a bowl of rice, and you put your bracelet inside of it. So the top is sticking out, it holds it into place while your glue is drying. I've seen people use beans. To display them, you could do the same thing. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of people use coffee beans. So that aroma, like different flavored coffee beans, or bracelet bars. So, okay, so don't forget to sign up for the class. We are going to be working with brass, copper, and aluminum bracelets, 1/4 inch, and we'll be using the multifunction texture hammer, and I will teach you everything you need to know about that hammer. Jen will be there to help me answer any questions that you might have. And what's nice about, and like I've said this like 8 million times already, but what's nice about the end of that class is that I get to see you guys if you choose to turn your cameras on. So Jen and I, you get to see Jen, we get to see you, and that's really the highlight of that class for me. All right. So Connie, you can, there we go. Jen just posted it. National Online Class Hand Stamped Textured Cuff Bracelets, July 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You're just gonna go click on that link, fill it out and you'll be registered. You'll receive an alert before the class starts. It's a Zoom class, so it's fun, and you'll be ladybug in that class. Well, that's good, Carly, because last time I looked for you, and you know, sometimes you don't, you know, with your Zoom, you don't have your name on it. It's a nickname or. So after the class, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, that was so-and-so. So it's nice to see you guys, because I know you guys see me and Jen, but we don't get to see your faces. So thank you very much for joining us today. Make sure to come back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're gonna be covering the geometric zodiac stamps. They're 6mm. I never went over them before. They are super detailed and really pretty, really, really pretty. So I'm gonna go over 12 of those. We're gonna go over the set of zodiac signs. They're a 3mm set. They are super gorgeous. I'll walk you through some projects. All right. And we'll have a little fun. So thank you guys for tuning in today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow.